Welcome to Edupedia World. In this video, we will discuss definition of classification, objects of classification, and characteristics of classification. Let us start with the introduction of this chapter. The quantitative information collected in any field of society or science is never uniform. They always differ from one to another, that is, price of vegetables, student in different sections, income of families, time in different watches, height or weight of students. A single item of all the group as numerical may be called variate or variable. For example, price of potato is rupees 10 per kg in a group of vegetable price. Student in section A are 50 in a group of different sections. Income of family D is rupees 10,000 per month in a group of families. Time in HMT watch is 10:45 am in a group of different watches. Height of Rajesh is 60" is a group of students. Variate can also be called variable or magnitude or observation or item or measure of value. The characteristics which are not capable of being measured quantitatively are called attributes. For example, blindness, deafness, literacy, sickness, tall and short, black and blue eyed, intelligence, aptitude for art and music, etc. They cannot be measured numerically in the same way as heights and weights or price and income. Individual may be ranked according to quality of attributes. The rank are sometimes used to use their numerical values for purpose of statistical analysis. The collected data, either by primary or secondary method, are always in an unorganized form in schedules or questionnaires or another written form. The collected data is unorganized form is called raw data. Because of the limitation of human mind to understand such a complex, varied and unorganized data, it is necessary to make them available for comparison, analysis and appreciation by proper and suitable grouping and arrangement in condensed form. The process of grouping into different classes or subclasses according to characteristics is called classification. The classified information arranged in a logical and systematic order in a particular sequence is called seriation or statistical series. The classified information presented in precise and systematic tables is called tabulation. In other words, classification is for division of data, seriation is for arrangement of data in a systematic order, and tabulation is for presentation of data in a table. Organization of the data refers to the arrangement of figures in such a form that comparison of the mass of similar data may be facilitated and further analysis may be possible. An important method of organization of data is to distribute these into different classes on the basis of their characteristic. This process is called classification of data. Classification is the process of arranging the data according to some common characteristic possessed by the facts constituting the data. The facts having a common characteristic are termed as one class or group. Thus, classification is the grouping of related facts into different classes. According to Professor Connor, classification is the process of arranging things either actually or notionally in the groups according to their resemblance and affinities, and give expression to the unity of attributes that may subsist amongst the diversity of individuals. According to this definition, the chief features of classification are: the facts are classified into homogeneous groups by the process of classification. All the units having similar characteristics are placed in one class or group. The basis of classification is unity in diversity. The classification may be either actual or notional. The classification may be according to either attributes or characteristics or measurements. Let us discuss one more definition from Sechrist. Sechrist has defined classification is the process of arranging data into sequence and groups according to their common characteristics or separating them into a different related parts. Classification is grouping of data according to their identity, similarity, or resemblance. For example, letters in the post office are sorted out in groups of cities and towns of destination, that is Delhi, Chennai, Agra, Chandigarh, etc. Similarly, students in a school may be grouped as boys and girls as according to age. In library, the books and periodicals are classified and arranged according to subjects. Students are classified according to division they secured in certain examination. Animals or plants may be grouped according to origin or structure, etc. Thus, by way of classification, a huge heterogeneous data is converted into homogeneous groups or classes. Now we come to objects of classification. The chief objects of classification are: first, to present the facts in a simple form. Classification process eliminates unnecessary details and makes the mass of complex data simple, brief, logical, and understandable. For example, the data collected in a population census is so huge and fragmented that it is not possible to draw any conclusion from them. When these massive figures are classified according to sex, education, marital status, occupation, etc., then the structure and nature of the population can easily be understood. Second object, to bring out clearly points of similarity and dissimilarity. Classification brings out clearly the points of similarity and dissimilarity of the data so that they can be easily grasped. Facts having similar characteristics are placed in a class such as educated, uneducated, employed, unemployed, etc. Next object, to facilitate comparison. Classification of data enables one to make comparison, draw inferences, and locate facts. This is not possible in an unorganized and unclassified data. If marks obtained by BCom students in two colleges are given, no comparison can be made of their intelligence level. But classification of students into first, second, third, and failure classes on the basis of marks obtained by them will make such comparison easy. Next object, to bring out relationship. Classification helps in finding out cause-effect relationship, if there is any in the data. For example, data of smallpox patient can help in finding out whether smallpox cases occurred more on vaccinated or unvaccinated population. Next, to present a mental picture. The process of classification enables one to form a mental picture of objects of perception and consumption. Summarized data can easily be understood and remembered. And the last object, to prepare the basis for tabulation. Classification prepared the basis for tabulation and statistical analysis of the data. Unclassified data cannot be presented in tables. These are the major objects of classification. Next, we come to characteristics of classification. It is important that the classification should possess following characteristics. First, classification should be unambiguous. Classification is meant for removing ambiguity. It is necessary that various classes should be so defined that there is no room for doubt and confusion, and must have a class for each item of data in one of the classes. Classification should be done in such a way that the entire data is covered and not even a single item is left unclassified. Next point, the classes must not overlap. Each item of data must find its place in one class and one class only. There must be no item which can find its way into more than one class. Each item in the data should belong only to one class by avoiding overlapping. This can be achieved by defining various classes properly and arranging data in the respective classes. Suppose we want to classify students on the basis of their family income into various classes such as poor, middle, and rich. These classes must be demarcated in such a way that there is no overlapping to avoid any confusion in the mind of a research worker as to who is poor and who is rich. The classes should be mutually exclusive. Next point, classification should be stable. If classification is not stable and if each time an inquiry is conducted, it has to be changed. The data would not be fit for comparison. Therefore, the classification must proceed at every stage in accordance with one principle, and that principle should be maintained throughout. Next point, classification should be flexible. It should be flexible and should have the capacity of adjustment to new situations and circumstances. With change in time, some classes become obsolete and have to be dropped, and fresh classes have also to be added. Next, classification should be suitable to inquiry. Classification should be according to the objects of inquiry. If the investigation is carried on to inquire into the economic conditions of laborers, then it will be useless to classify them on the basis of their religion. And the last point, classification should have arithmetical accuracy. The total of items included in different classes should tally with the total of the universe. These are the basic characteristics of the classifications. Thank you for watching Edupedia World videos.